guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. We're up in my cabin here. First trip of the year, actually. A little earlier than normal. As you can see, we've still got some snow on the ground. And I'm just collecting the trail cam footage right now. And wow, we've got some great footage over this past winter. And actually today, we're going to be looking at a new camera. I've got the Voopeak TC27 here, 4G solar powered trail camera. And we're going to be having a look at that, getting that set up. And I'm just looking for a good spot for that. I've got the TC20 right there set up. I've also got the TC24 and the TC25 set up on the property here, and we'll have a look at some of that footage throughout the day, guys. Before I head over to set up the TC27, we're going to unpack it here. You're getting a first look at the TC27 on the front of the box there. Let's check out what's included. All right, we've got a user manual here. Now this user manual is in English, Dutch, as well as French. And it goes over everything you need to know to get the TC27 set up, paired to the app, and up and running. So we'll keep that handy. Got a little after-sales warranty service here. Looks like we've got some templates for installing the solar panel as well as the TC27. Speaking of the solar panel, a nice size solar panel. I believe it's a 6-watt solar panel, this one. And it's got a long cord on it. And it looks like it's going to have a Type C, yes, a Type C USB that'll plug into the TC27. You've got your mounting strap. That's how I typically mount my cameras, usually around a tree with the included strap. So we got all the hardware here. We'll dump that out quickly. All right, that's going to be your solar panel mount. Looks like it's going to screw into, you can screw it into the TC27. And yeah, look at the back here. It's actually a nice mount. Line it up and click it into place. That is nice. I like that. What else we have here? Another charging cable. Type C USB on the one end. Now it is highly recommended, and I've done it myself, fully charge the TC27 before setting it up. You want a full battery so that the solar panel can be most effective and not trying to charge a dead battery. So you've got the Type C on the one end that'll plug into the TC27, and then your Type A standard USB on the other end that'll plug into a 5-volt outlet to charge up the TC27. That's some mounting hardware here. We got 2 packs of mounting hardware. And we've got a little pair of tweezers. I guess that'll be for installing the micro SD card, or maybe even your SIM card. Now, I believe the SIM card is pre-installed. We'll check that out momentarily. And then you've got a little strap here, I guess, for just keeping the wires all nice and neat. Pull in the TC27 and have a closer look here. On the front is the high-def camera, PIR sensor, 4 LED spotlights. Looks to be an infrared light, microphone, and status light. Now, they are advertising full-color night vision with the TC27, so that is pretty cool. Also, you can control and adjust the camera remotely through the app, which we'll look at momentarily, at 355 degrees of pan and what looks to be about 90 degrees of tilt. So that is pretty cool as well. On the top is the 1/4-20 threaded insert for the solar panel bracket. You just screw the bracket in, and then you're going to lock your solar panel into the bracket. Got dual antennas on the top. On the back is the mounting bracket for the TC27. Now, if you're going to use this bracket, you're just going to take one of the included hardware packs, screw that into whatever surface you're mounting it to. Camera slips over top and locks into place. Or the other option that I'll be using is you can install it with the strap through the slots here and just use this strap around a tree, a post, or whatever you can fit the strap around, and install it that way as well. What else we have here? We got a waterproof cover on the bottom that is labeled TF and reset. So you got your reset button, the pre-installed SIM card, and your micro SD card slot. We'll install our SD card right now. There we go. And we'll just get this cover back on nice and tight to keep everything waterproof. And what else we have here? We got another waterproof cover. This is going to be your charging port under here. So again, we'll use the tweezers to open that up. Okay, that's your on-off switch. And here you have your charging port. So that's the port you use to pre-charge the TC27, and it's also the same port you use to plug in the solar panel. Alright, so we actually came back right near the cabin here, and the reason being is I've never had a camera set up here before, and check it out. Looks to be moose prints potentially through there coming out of the bush right there. And I'm actually taking a closer look here. I did walk through there. There was some more footprints over this way. So I think we might actually, here, let me just walk over here a bit. I think setting this up near the cabin here might be a decent idea. Now, these are not fresh, but you can see some large prints there. And we've had, yeah, probably, yeah, it looks to be coming right through here. So I'm going to get, I think I might set up the TC27 on that tree right there. Here's where we're going to be mounting the TC27. I've got the strap run through the backside. Just going to get it around the tree. Alright, there we go. We'll just get rid of the excess and clean that up after. So, now what we want to do is, we want to, if you haven't already, we're going to pair the TC27 to the app. So if you haven't already, you're going to want to download the Yukon app. QR code for that is in the manual. And once you have that downloaded, you'll be right where we are right now to get the TC27 paired to the app. Alright, so see, before we do that, solar panel. On the underside where I showed you, it plugs in. And then it's just going to lock into the bracket. Just like that. Alright, got the TC27 mounted. Now we're going to pair it to the app. So let's go into the Yukon app now. And the upper right hand corner plus symbol is going to be how you're going to add this, and then you're just going to follow the instructions that the app is giving you to get it paired up.
Scan the QR code on the camera to connect to your phone.
Okay, there's a QR code on the top here.
Insert the SIM card, install the camera, install the antenna, then power on the device. The blue LED will light up after about 1 minute. Click Next.
So we've got it powered up now. Everything that needs to be installed is installed. I'm seeing the status light blinking red and blue, so once that's solid blue, we'll be able to continue. And it says it should take about a minute. And there we go. It is now solid blue, so we can check it off and hit next.
Enter the camera name and address. Using default name and address can go to the next step directly.
I was going to name it TC27. I'm at my cabin, so we'll leave that there and hit finish.
Camera installed successfully. Fully charge the camera at first use.
Alright, that was pretty easy, guys. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go into the app. You can see I have the TC27 and the TC25 on here. I do need to reload the data for the TC25. I'll probably do that later today, but as you can see, we're online with the TC27.
Alright guys, I'm back home now, and it's been about 3 weeks since I set up the TC27, and I'm roughly 300 kilometers away from where the camera is, where I'm at right now. So we're going to go back into the Yukon app, and we'll check out some of the functions and features that are offered in the app, as well as we'll review the settings, and we'll get into that live feed as well. And we'll also review some of the footage of the wildlife that came through over the last few weeks. So looking at the TC27, you can see bottom left-hand corner, we're online. Upper right-hand corner, we have full battery life, good cell reception, 4G reception, and we'll click on the screen there to go into the live feed. And once that connects there we go. Connects pretty quick. And as you can see, guys, from when I set it up a few weeks ago, there was about 2 feet of snow on the ground. Now there's nothing. It looks like it's snowing right now, but there was about 2 feet of snow a few weeks ago, and they've had some good weather up there since I left, and obviously everything has melted. Now, we're going to start with the settings, upper right-hand corner. And there we go. You can see device name, storage management. So that's the micro SD card I have in there right now. We can format that SD card right through the app. Back out of there, image flip, vision mode, so you have normal or night vision mode. activity detection. Now I recently just switched this because I was getting a lot of false recordings because I had it on high, so I brought it down to medium. They've had quite a bit of wind up there, which has triggered the camera a little bit more than what I was expecting. So you have that option, and that's what it's there for, to adjust that sensitivity from high to low. I'm putting it at medium now, and we'll try that out for a week or so and see how that does. I may need to move that down to lower. Now, alarm area. So this is kind of cool, guys. It gives you instructions here. We'll quickly go through that. Now, the alarm area, you can set up a custom alarm area right here, which is great. And see, you just fill it in. If that was my alarm area, and then I would just save that. We can also erase all that too. Now, I want the whole thing to be the alarm area, so I'm not going to be using that, but we can just hit click, check, success, and we can actually, oh, that's pretty cool. You can adjust the camera while you're in that setting. Very nice. So we'll back out of there, and let's continue on here. Now, schedule setting. This is something that I won't be using because I want the camera to be functional and recording 24/7. But you do have the option here. You can adjust it to only be active during certain times of the day and certain days on its own. So that's where you would do that. Device alarm, we can turn it on because this can also be used like as a security camera. So you can have an alarm set so that if it detects motion, the alarm would go off. So continuing on, recording time, 20 seconds. You can see we have 5 seconds, 10, 20, and full-time record. I won't keep it on full-time record, but if you want full-time loop recording, you would just hit full-time record, and it's non-stop recording, so you'll never miss anything. Power frequency, LED indicator on and off. I always leave it on. Doesn't seem to have any issues with the wildlife with the indicator on. All right, synchronize time, restart device, volume setting, microphone adjustment, speaker adjustment, and firmware update. All right, backing out of there, guys, and you can see again, it connects very quickly to the live feed, and we can move the camera around with 355 degrees of rotation and roughly, I believe, 90 degrees of tilt. You can really dial it in here. Now, you see that speed icon? We can actually adjust the speed to lower. I have it on medium right now, or high. So let's go to high and check how quick this is now. Quite a bit quicker. So now I want to review the icons along the bottom of the live feed there, starting with your sound icon. You can turn the sound on and off. Next to that, you have your screenshot, so we can take a screenshot of the live feed. Now the microphone icon there. That is your intercom icon or your two-way talk icon. So I could press that. Now I can talk to whoever's on the other end there, and then hit it again, and I'll be able to listen to them. Now, next one over, screen recording. So we are now recording the live feed, and you can also move the camera around while you do that. And to stop that, you would just hit that icon again, and it's going to save it directly to your device. All right, continuing on the right-hand side of the live feed, you see that red ring icon. That's indicating that for night vision, we currently have it set up to use the infrared lights. Now, if you wanted to use the built-in LED spotlights, you would just tap that, and there you go. Now you'd be using the LED spotlights. Personally, I prefer the infrared lights. Now, showing you how to access the footage that's been captured by the TC27. Just swipe right at the bottom, and there you go. There's all your footage. You can scroll through the dates, or you can tap on the date itself, and that'll pop up the calendar, and you can see all the hits we have here. Now, we installed it on the 29th of March, and we're currently at the 20th of April, and you can see pretty much every day. Now, a lot of that is false recordings because I had the sensitivity set to high, but we do have a fair amount, as you've been seeing throughout the video here, a fair amount of wildlife that we've captured. We can go in here, maybe there, I think we had something on the 8th, and we can just hit the play button there, and that's going to load up the file. I can see from the thumbnail that we have a deer that's going to be in the shot here. And there you go. You can view the footage that's been captured remotely right through the app here. And you can see where it says back to live. If we're done looking at that, you just hit back to live, and that'll go back to our live feed. And you can see how quickly that connects. It's only a second that it takes to connect back to the live feed. All right, guys, well, we're going to get ready to wrap this one up now. Thanks again to Voopeak for sending out the TC27 for me to share with you guys. As always, I'm going to leave links down below in the description if you want to get some more info or even grab one for yourself. Check it out there, and we'll see you on the next one.